is Joe Biden, the President of the United States. Now, everyone knows that Joe Biden is a human gaffe machine. And since he took office back in January 2021, Biden has made bloopers, blunders, and gaffes on the daily. Here's some examples.
And so I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home. More than half the women in my cabinet, more than half the people in my cabinet, more than half the women in my administration are women. We have 1,000 billionaires in America. You know the average tax rate they pay? 8, E-I-G-H%. 8%. I hibernated in Iowa for a while, but if I can digress for just a second, last night I was on television. I was on the telephone, and she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana to seek to terminate the presidency and maybe save her life. That's the last part is my judgment. So the best way to get something done, if you hold near and dear to you that you like to be able to,
Anyway, 3 years after he took office, it's time for an updated ranking of all the strange verbal gaffes, policy blunders, terrible optics, and a ton of just straight up lies that Biden has told since he took office. So here's the top 30 of his residency so far. Coming in at number 30 is the fact that Joe Biden thinks that exponentially is a word.
The price goes up exponentially, like for cars. They have an exponentially greater chance of going all the way through 12 years of school and increases
exponentially 也找这个叫什么形容词还是什么术语，反正英语但是不是名词啊，因为有个类啊，不是这个是基本英语啊，我都知道的。Joe Biden 不知道的话，他确实没有 graduate from high school 啊。
Deepfake video. Here's AI expert Lindsey Gorman showing host Margaret Brennan a potentially fake video of Joe Biden.
Yeah, so here's President Biden. All right, this one I'm going to ask you about.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
So what did you think of this one?
He didn't blink.
Not at all, right?
So that suggests it's fake.
This one's actually
正常人类会眨眼睛的，因为眼睛会干啊，不眨眼睛的只有机器人啊。
It's real. And it's number 29 on the list. The original video from July 2022 is an 11-minute-long pre-recorded address to the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. In it,
然后拜登这个老王八蛋，他眼睛是蓝颜色的，不是这个颜色的。
Where he doesn't blink for an entire minute. In fact, during the entire 11-minute and 14-second video, Joe Biden is only seen blinking a total of 40 times. And as stated earlier, the speech wasn't shot in one take. Let's watch Biden's eyes between cuts in the video.
All these steps will reduce crime and prevent crime from happening in the first place. And
Joe Biden makes a lot of claims about his past, but there's one in particular that might be the most dubious.
And let's say one thing to rest. I may be a practicing Catholic. I used to go to 7:30 Mass every morning in
How
high
could
school.
you support gay
legalization
legalization in our military if you are Catholic and went to church?
That means he's lying.
It's such a joke. How could he against the Lord Jesus war when he say he's a Catholic and go to church? Maybe Satan's church called Black Satan Worshipper Church.
Because if he had, he'd know how to act at one.
Come on, clap your hands, all you people. Tell it to God with a voice of triumph. Take it up. Yeah. Come on, the power of the Lord is here. The power of the Lord is here.
Joe Biden probably feel he's the only white Indians there.
On September 19th, 2021, during a massive surge of illegal crossings at the southern border, a photographer
This called
captured several
cowboy,
images of
like
migrants being confronted by
because
United States Border
in
Patrol
Texas,
agents on horseback.
cowboy
And these
don't
images
use
raced
handcuff.
through
They
social
use like
media,
a cow,
where many
like
accused
those
the border
cowboys
agents of
to
whipping
catch a
migrants.
criminal
But in an interview
in cowboy
with
movie.
TSM El Paso, the photographer Paul Ratchie said, "I've never seen them whip anyone, but it can be misconstrued when you're looking at the picture." And that should have been the end of it. But we are talking about Joe Biden and his garbage administration, so coming in...
Yeah, that's just like cowboy.
...is when Joe Biden perpetuated a lie to demonize his own border agents in an attempt to distract from the border crisis that he himself is responsible for.
But it was horrible what to see, as you saw. To see people treated like they did, horses really running them over, people being strapped, it's outrageous. I promise you, those people will pay.
So despite the fact that the photographer said the day before that there was no whipping, and despite being zero proof of whipping, Joe Biden said that the border agents were guilty of whipping migrants.
They will be an investigation.
In order to divert public attention from Biden inflation, obviously, this is basic politics. He's an idiot. He's very easy to read.
The world, it sends the wrong message at home. It's simply not who we are.
No, what sends the wrong message is accusing one of your own agencies of wrongdoing even after it was debunked and without any due process. In fact, a 9-month investigation and a 511-page report by the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Professional Responsibility found that the horses involved in this incident were equipped with split reins.